Hey everyone, welcome to Helen Roscoe Yoga on YouTube. I hope you're doing well. So this is the fourth in a series of practices which focus around 3 postures for something. So I've brought you 3 postures for your feet, 3 postures for your ankles and your knees, 3 postures for your hips, and now I'm going to focus today's session on the shoulders. So they take around about 30 minutes in total each session, and if you want to go and revisit any of those or any other practices that I have, then please take a look at what's gone before, and any other practices that may be appealing to you, please do subscribe and drop me a message to let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel. So in this session then, bringing you back to the shoulders, I'm really trying to kind of home in on that a little bit and think about how the shoulders can be supported and how they can also support us, and then integrate that within the whole body. So to begin with, we'll come onto all fours. This practice is quite low to the ground. You might like to have a cushion, a blanket, and then I'd also recommend something firm, such as some books that you could then place a blanket over the top of, or if you have a bolster then you could also use a bolster, but anything whereby you could kind of lift the head off the ground a little bit so that you're not coming in too deeply into positions will be really useful. I'll come to that shortly. So bring yourself onto all fours and just take a few moments to check in here. Settle into your hands and your knees, and any extra padding that you might need at this stage, just make sure that you feel supported underneath the knees and the wrists. I'd like you to almost feel as if you're drawing your shoulders away from your ears, so kind of have a sense that they're sliding away from your ears, and then you could also slide them forwards again. So just play around a little with the shoulders. Can you even draw some little circles with them around the wrists? So I'd like you to have a little wriggle around here, and then at a certain point bring yourself into a position whereby you feel evenly placed over the wrists. And then come into your breath, deepening the inhalations and lengthening on the exhalations. With your inhalation, press into the hands and lift the shoulders up. So you're lifting the shoulders away. And with the exhalation, slowly lower the chest in between the shoulders towards the hands, without dropping or bending the elbows. So breathe in, press through the arms, lift the shoulders away from the wrist, lift the head, lift the neck. Exhale, lower slowly the chest and then the head, and the space between the shoulder blades. And what you might be able to feel or observe when you inhale and you lengthen, there's some space around the back of the shoulders, across the front of the chest. When you lower down, the shoulder blades draw towards one another a little more, and you have space a little further along the front of the chest. Couple more times here. So the first few postures that we take, we're really connecting to that part of the body that we're working with around the shoulders today. On an exhalation, lower the elbows and stretch the pelvis back. On an in-breath, raise the elbows and bring the shoulders forwards. So on the exhale, lower the elbows and then stretch back through the shoulders and then into the space across the back of your pelvis. On the inhale, lift the elbows and bring the shoulders forwards, and we'll take that a few more times. So soften the shoulders as you move your pelvis back. The inhale, rise, your shoulders are still soft. We're just bringing our movement now into the spine, into the back of the pelvis. Connect the movement with your breath. The inhales extend you forwards, the exhales lower you down. Just complete the round that you're on. And then bring yourself upright and into a position whereby you're standing on the knees. So this is our first kind of official shoulder-based posture. Now I'm going to place 2 blocks in front of me so that when I lower my head, I'm not coming all the way down to the ground. So you're going to lower your head to one side and just check that that feels okay. You might need to have something higher, or you may be okay to go a little bit lower down. So a couple of stacked cushions or blankets, bolster or blocks. Coming back onto the knees, place your left hand onto your lower back. And as you breathe in, extend your right arm in the direction of the sky. And then on the out breath, turn your head to your left shoulder and stretch your right arm to your lower back as you lower, so I'm a little bit too far away from my blocks, the side of your head towards the ground or your support. On the in-breath then, sweep the right arm, bring your head to centre and then lengthen. And then again, exhale. So you're taking the right side of your face towards the ground or raised block, the right hand to your lower back. On the in-breath, raise the spine, lift the chest, and then lengthen the arm out. So we're mobilising into the right shoulder and giving our neck a little bit of length between the ear and the top of your shoulder as you go. And you could take this maybe 4 or 6 times on one side, so you become really familiar with the movement, and you're only folding as far as your knees and your lower back will allow. So you could even be having your blocks quite high so you're not lowering quite so low into your knee joints. Complete the round that you're on. Place your right hand to your lower back. Inhale the left arm alongside your left ear, and as you exhale, chin towards the right shoulder, left side of head towards the block. Inhale, head to centre, sweep your left arm out, raise through the knees and into the pelvis. And taking this about anywhere between 4 and 6 times in total. Just be really mindful of moving with your breathing. Helps you to deepen your focus, cultivate steadiness, and it's also very calming for the nervous system, especially as we begin to cultivate a long exhalation. When you've taken about 4 to 6 of those, exhale, lower your left arm down, pause, sigh the breath out, and as you do so, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Okay, moving your support out of the way and coming to rest onto the front of your body, placing blankets on the ground, especially if you're on a hard surface, just so you have some support beneath the pelvis. I'd like you to bring your arms alongside your rib cage so your shoulders are back and away from the ears, and lower your forehead down, so keeping your shoulders drawn away. As you breathe in, lengthen along your spine, lift your chest, lift your head off the ground. As you exhale, lower down. So this is our second posture. I should have introduced that we were moving into a cobra. Lengthening along the spine, strengthening for the lower back, and we're going to include some shoulder variations within the posture too. This is a great daily posture for us to take for kind of back maintenance. Just repeat the round that you're on, and then bring your hands in front of you with your palms on the ground. Keep pressing now through the shoulders, through the elbows into the hands. And on the in-breath, with that press in, lift the chest and the head off the ground. So a little bit of effort coming in now. along the arms. Exhale and lower down. And again. 3 or 4 times in this way. And at a certain point, when you begin to feel comfortable with this pace, this rhythm of breathing and lengthening, inhale, and then breathing and lowering, exhale. See if you can take the arms with you as you raise the head and the torso. And they may only lift a little way, or you might be able to lift them with your head. The exhale lowers, the inhale raises. And taking this maybe 3 or 4 times with your breath. So if you ever begin to tire, or if there is any pain when you change or shift, you can always come back to the first variation. And we're going to change it once more. Inhale, raise the arms with the head. This time, exhale, draw the elbows towards the rib cage, open across the shoulders. Breathe in towards the top of your head. Exhale towards the rib cage. And again, inhale. At this point, you could exhale and lower down, and then come back in on the next in-breath, and just play around with that for another 2 more rounds or so of breath. So the exhale draws in, so initiate the movement from the shoulders. Inhale, fingertips towards the crown of your head. Exhale, elbows towards the rib cage. On an exhalation, lower yourself down. Turn your head to one side, pause the breath. Sigh as you breathe, and then slowly bring yourself over onto the back of your body, and it may be useful at this stage to draw the knees in over the belly and soften around the back. You could inhale the knees away, and then exhale and roll the knees back in again. So this posture is very versatile. I use it regularly as a counterbalancing posture for many shapes, for many forms that we may take with our body, but in particular it's really useful when we've been back bending and extending along the spine. Okay, the knees can stay in over the belly, and then have the arms out at shoulder level. So we're going to work into a lying twist. This is our 3rd posture of the series. Let your shoulders find space on the ground. Release them towards the earth. Keeping your knees drawn in towards the belly. As you exhale, take your knees in the direction of your right elbow and anchor through the right shoulder. It doesn't need to go all the way there. Inhale the knees through to center, and then exhale, lightly hug the knees in towards the abdomen. Anchor through the left shoulder as you take your knees towards the left elbow. You might find there is a lift on the opposite side, on the opposite shoulder, so let that arm lengthen a little. And then again, so anchor through the shoulder on the side that you rotate towards. The exhale takes you in, and then the in-breath brings you back. And repeating. Exhale left, anchor through the left shoulder, press through that left shoulder, draw yourself back. The next time you come down onto the right, you could lower your legs towards the ground. You might need to place some support underneath the right side of your legs. You could bring your left knee up a little, just take your right knee away, place your hand on top of the right leg softly, and then with your left arm, your left elbow softens, turn your head, if that feels okay for your neck, Otherwise you could keep looking up towards the sky in the direction of your left arm, and then invite that left shoulder now to really soften on the exhale, and flattening down a little through the right shoulder. So it's almost like the space in between the shoulders is softening and melting, and you might like to direct your inhalation around that left shoulder and then invite your exhalation to soften into that left shoulder, or it could be on the right side or in the spaces in between. So tune in to what you are experiencing in your twist, focusing around your shoulders, breathing in. Invite a sense of renewal or energy, and breathing out to soften and release. Come back center on the in-breath. Exhale over to the left-hand side. Take your time to find a position that is comfortable, so any padding underneath the left knee. And then with the right arm, soften into the right elbow. You could gaze along towards the right hand. Your hand is tension free. And then in particular, spend a few moments breathing in and out into the right shoulder. Deep inhalations, long and softening exhalations, and then check in around the space in between the shoulder blades. And then on the left side also, just pausing across the shoulders as you breathe deeply and fully. Another breath there. Bring yourself back slowly and gradually. Pause once again with your hands on the knees. As you breathe in, extend your heels up towards the sky, take your arms back, and on the out breath, lower the arms to the shins and bend the knees over the belly. And again, extend and lengthen through the legs, take the arms away, exhale the abdomen. You could take this for a few more rounds with your breath. Invite that softness around your shoulders now, letting go of effort. And when you've completed, let your arms be out at shoulder level. Sigh the breath out. And breathe into your shoulders. And as you exhale, invite your shoulders to soften and release. You could adopt a resting position on your backs with your knees bent. You may like to stretch your legs along the ground and place a support such as a bolster or cushions underneath the knees. You may also like to rest onto your side or even onto your belly, so take time to find that resting position. Breathing into your shoulders with a sense of renewal, a sense of vitality. Breathing out and invite them to soften. And take a few breaths in this way. And then integrate that into your whole body, inhaling renewal, vitality, exhaling, soften and release. You're welcome to stay in your resting position of choice for as long as is needed. And taking your time to rise when you are ready, slowly, and just acknowledging your practice in your own time. Thank you.